Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Ryan of Degenerate Passive Income coming to you live once again for our weekly AMA every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We are here with the one and only legend, AJ Brockman himself from EMP Money, EMP Fusion, Honor vs. Madness, guys, Plasm, DexFi, FortuneFi. We have it all. Bernard Bonds, 100% Docs team, 100% Docs wallets. 100% transparency is what we preach here, and that is what everybody should be looking at. Now, stay tuned until the end, guys. I'm going to give away some FortuneFi tickets, and I'm going to give away one of these amazing Bernard Bond shirts. Okay, I just had these made up by our buddy Scott Tixon, and it's got, if someone scans that when you're wearing this on your back, it's going to go to Bernard Bond's website. It's something cool. I've sent out a couple of them, one to New Zealand. So Muttley, if you're listening, it cost me $29 to ship that little t-shirt to you into New Zealand. So you're welcome. The other one got returned to me. So Marvin White, you on the other one, you gave me the wrong address. It got returned today. So please give me the right address. I'll resend it and spend another $9 tomorrow. So this is costing us, I don't care. We are here to have some fun. We're here to give away stuff. And that's how things should be. Now, I do have something special for you guys. I did not lie in the description when I said LoomX exposed. So here's a little backstory. We're going to spend like 5 minutes on this, guys, okay? I got not invited, but I got a link sent to me from someone, no idea who it was, because they deleted their profile right afterwards, right after they sent it to me in Telegram. It's the link to the owner's Telegram group of LoomX that has all of the leaders in it, 104 of them, of the leaders in there, and he explains how the protocol is going. And I just took like 5, 6, 7, it's all in Russian, so I had to, what would you call it, read whatever, so I could read it in English, right? Translate it into English. And I'm going to show you guys those messages. They're right off of Telegram. They are real. It's a real group. And just, this is how people act, guys, okay? This is what this is where your money is going when you invest into these stupid Ponzi's. So let this be a lesson to you, okay? If you don't know the team, if you don't know the owners, if you don't know what they're doing in the background, do not put your money into it. So, like I said, I'm not going to mention any of the leaders' names or the YouTubers, but if you Google LoomX, every single one of those YouTubers were in that chat, and they knew exactly what day LoomX was rugging, okay? Just saying, you guys be the judge of yourself. And we're going to go through it real quick. I'll just read a couple of them here. I've got them all pinned up here. So this is the first one. As I found out today, some goblin, the goblin, they call the investors goblins, okay, first of all. So whoever you invested in this, which I did, $100 just to prove it's going to rug, I'm a goblin, fine. In St. Petersburg is demanding to get his money back through court and has filed a lawsuit and a complaint against one of the leaders on my list. We don't abandon our own. In this case, an exception. So I'll help the leader from my personal funds and settle the issue with the goblin. But first, I'll negotiate. I'll ask for half of the deposit. And if we push hard enough, he'll take it. Otherwise, there's no news. My assistants are finishing up the crap for the goblins, and it will be automatically published according to the schedule. So you're paying out one guy from St. Petersburg because he filed a lawsuit. Great. Now, here's another one. We had knowledge that we didn't let all the pumpers make money. All the pumpers are the YouTubers, guys, and the shillers. I want to say right away, anyone who calls themselves a pumper, but is so petty that they didn't even draw a deposit and he invested his own money and didn't even recoup it on the referral. This isn't a pumper, but just a goblin trying to become one. We spot smart guys ourselves and get in touch with them, and these on our list will always be in the black. But our gain is the goblin's loss. That's the essence of the project. Therefore, our team are known for never letting our own down, and the rumors in the chats are just the goblins whining, nothing more. At most, they're novices in scamming. Yes, LoomX is closing down. This is February 20th, guys. The real cash has already been dispersed, the real cash, and whoever is ready to go further with us goes with us. Okay, another project coming out, guys. Heads up. Now, another one. I once promised to explain why I named the project LoomX and what it means. All my projects, not the only one, guys, actually have names with a twist, and this one is no exception. In American slang, LoomX means a loom, or the impending arrival of problems. If you read it backwards, it means, on the one hand, the mooing of cows, and on the other hand, it means money in slang. Therefore, LoomX means a loom for milking money from dairy cows and creating problems for them. But this irony will only be understood by those who have been involved in the US for a long time. Okay, here's another one. Message with the scam legend. Since activity is low, we chose a simple legend. I blocked all withdrawals to zero from the transit wallet. Now, keep in mind, guys, the leaders are getting this 3 weeks ago and still shilling the project, telling you to deposit, because when it starts back up Monday, it was supposed to, that everything's going to be fine. We're going to start paying out. No, they're not paying out. Okay, we extended the plan by a month. We're great. Thanks to the leaders, influencers, boosters, and the tech team for their excellent work. All settlements with you are made exactly on time. Settlements meaning, yeah, you got paid a bunch of money that you weren't supposed to, other people's money, for redepositing. Okay, now let's clean up the chats and the goblins in them. Important, all selective payments to your goblin subordinates, only in extreme cases and with high risks and threats, specifically in agreement with the supervisor. The audience analysis shows that there shouldn't be any risks. The audience is gullible and has long been expecting the closure anyway. And one more I think I got. I monitored the basic chats and it seemed everything was calm everywhere. The goblin masses were more or less ready for the project to close. And there weren't many who truly believed in the legend. One might think that it wasn't necessary to put much effort in the legend, but there's a nuance here. As promised, I'll soon explain the interesting technologies I used to create the image of an international company, LoomX, how much it cost, and what increase in goblins it brought. This will be another guide for young admins, new scammers, ladies and gentlemen. Interestingly, the goblins are becoming more active, not because they truly believe in the legend, but because they think a more elaborate legend will attract more stupid goblins, and thus they can also benefit from it. I see that some have chosen the path of clearing their reputation by blaming everything on the LoomX leader. This is quite acceptable. We can inform the goblins that we are admins who have betrayed the leaders as well. We are haters who have betrayed everyone in general. If you are a leader from our list and we need to establish a conversation with you of the necessary kind, write to us. We will do it. The safety of our boosters is of the utmost important. Thank you guys for the smooth running of the scam. Arthur particularly did a great job, whoever Arthur is. It's nice to tease the only goblin who came with insults. We settled the problem with the St. Petersburg goblin, paid him, and our leader from there is safe. According to the instructions, we start messing with the goblins' heads and we'll do it nicely. We prepared an auto-posting set of posts, which that's what they were. So it only took me about a half an hour to do everything, and you'll see how you can smoothly close the project without any mass protest statements and other BS under the auspices of the most complex project relaunch in history. We can see that 87% of the goblins had already quit by March 15th, i.e. didn't redeposit, okay? That's the end of our leadership support for LoomX. You can top up the remaining goblin money in various ways if you wish. Some leaders, for example, even set up their own bonus system based on the legend on unlocking accounts for withdrawal to break even. By the end of the month, I decided to start another project following a similar scheme, guys. It proved to be successful. As promised, I'll be creating guides for you young admins based on the knowledge I've accumulated, who, like us, love to tease the exploited goblins after scamming. To be honest, I sometimes tease the goblins in their fake accounts, but of course, with the chat owner's consent. Can you send them an official statement for me? As the owner of LoomX, they won't expose me anyway, and those goblins who put up with aren't dangerous to me. And there's a couple more, guys. I'm speechless at this stuff, to be honest. It's disgusting, but that's the space, guys. Hey, AJ, what do you think about this disaster?
Holy shit, Ryan, man, that is insane. Oh, that's all I got to say to that. That was nuts, man. And again, it's really sad, bro. I mean, just basically laying it all out there that, these people are pure evil, right? I mean, scamming people intentionally, in a systematic way, both, psychological and financial warfare on people. And this is why crypto gets a bad name, right? Because unfortunately, a lot of maybe new people that are getting exposed to crypto, they find projects like LoomX first, and now they never want to deal with crypto ever again. When in reality, it just was a pure scam, right? There's absolutely no arbitrage bot. There's no AI trader. There's none of this other bullshit that you hear of when nothing is fully doxed or transparent or anything like we have in Bernard bonds and DexFi bonds. So again, I just it is sad, but man, that was quite the expose. Ryan has another calling in investigative journalism. So yeah, there you go, man. Again, hopefully nobody got hit hard from LoomX and our circles, and again, people that did these leaders and influencers that lead their following to slaughter is just real tough. And I know that was one of the big things with you, Ryan. It's about coming to the light side now, man, and only talking about products and projects that have all that we say, what we said. Docs founders, fully transparent, everything on chain, real, verifiable revenue. All those things are what you need to ask for in getting involved in projects, even blue chip projects. I mean, again, there's a lot of top 100 crypto tokens that have not even close to the amount of transparency and real yield that we have. And ultimately they will fail, right? I mean, we've said this time and time again. If even a meme or a multi-million-dollar market cap token, if the only way you can profit from that token is by somebody buying it from you at a higher price, then that is a fundamental Ponzi. And we are championing against all that and literally everything now in our ecosystem. EMP, HVM, Grim Gold, everything is about having a real revenue stream to support the token price, and that is really what matters. And with bonds, there isn't even a token. It's ETH in, ETH out, and a USDC, paid to your wallet every single second in some cases, if you have a big enough bag. So yeah, man, I think that was a great way to open. I feel bad for all the goblins that got affected. Oh my God, man! I know me and you get frustrated with some of the FUD, but I don't think we've ever called a bondholder a goblin. So it's just man, really insane.
Yeah, it's disgusting, and what's really disgusting is the leaders in that group, the names that I saw, and how they were pushing it even after they were told right in that group that we are closing down, and then telling their groups to reinvest. Yeah, you got to put your $1,000 back in. All of that went to those leaders, guys, and those aren't leaders. Okay, those are criminals. All right, those are crooks. I learned my lesson with Bruno X. All right, I've apologized time and time again. I thought everything was 100% facts, 100% truth, and maybe that is the same guy right there. I had all kinds of identification. I had all kinds of facts and pictures and everything else, but all of a sudden, boom, everything's gone. And I learned my lesson. Yeah, it was a hard lesson. It was an expensive lesson to my viewers and to myself, of course. I had 7 digits in it. Okay, that thing stung. And I apologize for that. I'm still apologizing to this day. I don't have that money, but it was a lot. And AJ was a multiple 6-figure investor in that. And you know what? We rolled the dice and we came up craps. So I only had $100 in the LoomX. And when I didn't even do a video, you never saw a link for me. I just put it in there for content. And I always told you from day one, it's not if, it's when it rugs. I will let you know. And thank goodness that guy sent me that thing, that Telegram chat. I just wanted to show you guys how disgusting the space is. They're coming out with another project. I do have the name of the project. It was in another text. I made sure to make note of that. And when that thing comes out, you better believe I'm making videos on it, okay? And I'm going to show those conversations on the video because this is ridiculous. that's all I want to really say about LoomX, guys. Trusted team, doxed wallets, doxed owners, guys. This is the way. This is crypto. You know, it's a risky space already. Don't risk it on not knowing the founders and not knowing, you know, where the money's at, what the money is doing, and things of that nature. So with that said, we're going to get into it, AJ. We're here to talk about Bernard Bonds. We're here to talk about FortuneFi, DexFi, whatever you guys want to talk about, you can talk about it. Please ask questions. All right. We get a lot of questions during the week. It's way easier to explain it live on camera than it is in a message because we have real life stuff going on too, guys. So, you know, there's that too as well. So, you know, just pay attention, ask questions if you got them, please. And stick around. We're going to give away some FortuneFi tickets, and I'm going to give away one of those shirts. All right. So stick around to the end. Now, Bernard Bonds, ladies and gentlemen, printing since June 11th, 2025. That's over 9 months. What you cannot deny is $1.4 million USDC has been distributed to bond holders, all verifiable on chain by clicking this little magic button right there. It brings you to DBank, where you cannot hide the money. You cannot manipulate it. There is only one wallet for DexFi and Bernard Bonds, and it is right here. It shows the whole portfolio. It's got like $14,000 in waiting for different entries, 2.45 million in TBL. Okay. It shows everything. It shows the vaults and every single dollar amount that we have in each vault. We've got a lot on base. We've got BNB vaults. We've got Sonic. We've got AVAX. We've got them all, guys. We just don't have a bunch of money into one thing. And if that vault goes to zero, we're screwed. That's not how it works. Okay. We're very diversified. They're all right in front of you. We got over $500,000 into Aave, which is a lending protocol on ETH. Our health rate is pretty luscious at 1.78. And we're borrowing USDC and putting that into vaults against our ETH. Plus, when ETH rises, which it did last week, did like 2,200 or whatever, we even gained that as well by holding that ETH because we're not selling it, right? We're just borrowing against it. Okay, so things of that nature. You click on transactions. It shows every single transaction. When a person buys a bond, when a person, you know, mints one, it shows when they make deposits into vaults, guys. It shows everything right in front of you. Okay, here it's filling up. It's depositing into this token right here, $10,000. Everything is here for you to see. You cannot hide from it. You cannot fake it. It is 100% transparent. As you can see right here, today's profit, we're compounding half, taking profit another about $3,100. Crypto's been slow, guys. Okay, that's why the APR is only 43%. Okay, a lot of people are complaining 43% APR. Oh my goodness, that's only that's a little more than 3.5% a month. Well, you know what, guys? I don't make 2% a month on my real estate. I have to work my ass off. Okay, if you guys watched my previous video with me dealing with a flood in one of my apartments, if you haven't, go watch my last video. They'll give you a little taste of what I do daily. All right, it's no fun. I'm working for less money than I'm making in Bernard Bonds. Period. Tomorrow, I get to go clean out an apartment that is absolutely full from top to bottom. A lady that moved out and hasn't paid me in 2 months. Okay, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'll take some video of that as well. So you know what? Real estate always isn't the best. Just saying. Now, with that said, NFTs right now are worth about $38.18 compared to the price of ETH. As you can see, I got $55. I can claim this anytime, guys. All right, $55 in ETH. I can claim it for 1 cent in gas. Instantly drops in my wallet. You don't have to rely on a dev or anybody to say, "Oh yeah, we'll pay him out." It's instant. We are always 100% collateralized. Everybody could sell their bonds right now, and you're going to get paid within 48 hours because it's 100% collateralized. Nowhere else, nobody else is doing that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Just saying. Over 69,000 bonds minted, and we don't hold your money. And we also need to talk about that as well. Everyone's saying, Aurum this, Aurum that. You see all the big YouTubers shilling Aurum. Well, guess what? I'm not going to say it, but some of those, I'm going to pass on that one. But okay, APR 43%. You can sell your bond anytime you want. I could buy one right now and sell it the next minute. We do not hold your money. Aurum, the reason why they can last, guys, they hold your money for 360 days. If you want to get out, you take a 35% haircut. Okay. So it is no wonder that people are going into Aurum. They're thinking, oh, this is great. 0.2 to 0.5 a day, or whatever they're paying, 10 to, I think, 18% a month. But your money's locked for 360 days unless you want to get a 35% haircut. All right. So they can last a while. They're smart and they pushed it back. Okay. Let's see. If we hold these guys' money for a year, we could probably end up when it gets close to 360 and when the money starts drying up, we'll just shut it off. That's what they're going to do, guys. Okay. Don't be stupid. That's what's going to happen. I'm just telling you right now. So if you're in Aurum, what do I want to do? I don't care. Do what you want, but it's not for me. I put $100 into that too. Not if, it is when, ladies and gentlemen, when it rugs, I will let you know. And what else do we need to talk about bonds? Anything you want to add to that, AJ? What I've said?
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. So I know there's a few things about bonds I wanted to go over, but real quick on the whole, Aurum scenario. I mean, and again, this applies to anything. We've talked about this on many, many different occasions over the last, forever since me and you've been doing these AMAs. But what people don't do is they don't usually do the math on their own, right? So I think it's important that we highlight that. And you said it perfectly, Ryan. I mean, again, having a lockup on your money, even if you're paying 10% a month, the fact that you can't withdraw your capital without number one, a major haircut, and number two, even at 10% a month, you are essentially getting paid back with your initial capital, right? Because again, roughly speaking, at 10% a month, it takes a whole year to even get your initial capital out in that of what you put in. So everybody says APR, ROI. Again, there's just 10 different ways of uh, uh, trying to explain it to new users or to yourself, in that matter, and rationalize what you're actually earning. But there's just so many things that, again, people don't really look at the big picture. And even if you did last and deposited and withdrew, every month, you didn't compound. At the end of the year, when it does end up running, you're never getting your initial principal out anyway. And so now you basically gave someone a interest-free loan for an entire year. So those are just a lot of really, again, the nuance that people don't think of when they see, 0.5 to 1% a day, and they get blinded by that greed. It isn't something that you can rely on. Now, bonds are completely 100% holistically different. And again, that not only is it fully transparent and on chain, but there is literally and never there isn't a situation where if literally everyone right this moment went to redeem bonds, that we would not have enough capital to pay everybody out. In fact, we would have more capital because of the 10% exit. And again, that 10% doesn't go to the devs or Ryan or me or anybody. It goes to all of you that stay. So there is, if there was a quote unquote run on the bank where everybody wanted to withdraw their bonds, immediately, you probably may end up even getting more, depending on when you submit to withdraw because of that 10%. So all of those things are fundamentally different. And not to mention you're earning USDC every single second if your bag is big enough to do that. So all that is just all those things are things of where we're not even on the same playing field with a lot of these other protocols. And unfortunately, again, the greed and the people just not really understanding how bonds work, ultimately hurts you in the long run. And we're trying, and that's why we do these AMAs, right? We try to educate. A lot of our back and forth is a bit tongue in cheek, especially when talking about other protocols. But it's all in the goal of really trying to show everyone the light of why bonds are so powerful and so different, and having the upside potential as well, right? Because a lot of these other protocols, it's USDC in and USDC out. So you get zero upside potential on crypto, and a lot of times the protocols are using that upside potential to pay you out, meaning they're getting in, millions of dollars at the lows. They on the back end are putting that into ETH or Bitcoin or whatever. And now when it does a 2x, they get to keep all the difference that capital has now made, and now they're only paying you out a little bit on the daily or the monthly returns. So again, we've been in the game long enough that we know what all these scammers do in terms of making their protocols last as long as they can, even when they are true Ponzi's. And so again, I just want to bring it all up because it's important for you to ask yourself these questions when getting into the different protocols and looking at the long-term setup. So all that being said, bonds are still killing it. Obviously, APR has been down and the ETH ratio has been down a little bit. But remember, the APR that we're showing is in the current moment, right? And we just had a development meeting yesterday, actually, where we're in the final stages of implementing some updated metrics. So if you remember Fusion Watch from our friends Rover and John, there was a lot of great metrics from that for all of our protocols. Well, some of those metrics now will also be on the homepage here of Bernard and DexFi bonds. So the average APR will be the next iteration, and that has been higher than what it is right now. The average APR has still been about 60%, which is pretty incredible, going on almost a year now. And again, that's with a complete bear market. I mean, the price of ETH has pretty much only gone down, and alts have only gone down since we started. And we saw a nice little relief rally over the last few days, but even that last week we had a nice run up and then it dumped when as soon as Ryan and I got off our AMA. So there is a lot of volatility in the market right now, but overall, building your bond position at these levels will be absolutely epic when we do get a bull run. And again, it's not even if we don't get a bull run, then it just may take you a little longer to ROI or to continue to make money from the yield. But nothing is fundamentally reliant on market conditions. It's just reliant on the volume, and we've continued to see volume, still be there. Again, as long as you don't think crypto is never gonna exist anymore, then there's literally no reason not to be bullish on bonds.
Right. And I want to preface what AJ said. We've done all this in a bear market, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, who else is doing that? Nobody else is doing that, guys. Okay. This is a bear market. You imagine, when the bull starts running, the price of our bond goes up, the price of our assets that are paired with ETH go up. Everything is going to go up when the bull run starts. If it starts, I think it will. Okay. But and you think about these projects. I'll touch one more little thing about it. Just think of these people paying in Bitcoin right now, and not in stables to like Aurum and these other things. When they're locked in for 360 days, when that bull run hits, they don't have to pay any of that Bitcoin back. They're doubling and tripling their money. But by the time they rug, they've still got everyone's Bitcoin, everybody's ETH, and it's made that much more money for them. So it's a win-win for those scammers. They've got it figured out. And I'm sorry that you guys are in it, but yeah, whatever. IMC Panic is, can I ask something about Plasm, even though we're not there yet? Yes, go ahead. We'll get to it for sure. Yeah, so bear market, guys, this is what we've done. An average of 60% APR. That's 5% a month. You barely get that in your 401ks, okay? Everyone's like, oh yeah, my 401k made 16% last year. No, it didn't. Okay? You didn't sell any of that stock in that portfolio. That is not realized gains. All right? These are realized gains Once I press that claim button, ladies and gentlemen, that is realized gains. All right. So don't come at me with my 401k did this, my 401k did that, my Roth IRA did this. It's tax free. Guys, I've seen it all. I've done it all. I'm pretty knowledgeable in the space, So with that said, I'm gonna, just stop right there. But Bernard bonds have been killing the game, and along with DexFi Treasury bonds, guys. Okay, it's the same thing. There's no stopping them. Crypto would have to go to zero, and maybe you want to talk about that just for a second because we did have that. I was on a Zoom with a big group last week, a few days ago, AJ. And maybe we should talk about that. What are the risks of bonds? What is the risk of having the Bernard bond or a DexFi bond?
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Again, we love the questions that preface all that in responsible planning, right? So the reality is that this is crypto, and there definitely is a layer of quote unquote risk as opposed to being in an FDIC insured bank account for getting 2% if you're lucky a year, right? And then the next step up is a brokerage account. Maybe you're getting 10%, not 16, like you said, Ryan. And especially when your financial advisor or brokerage manager takes their percentage, right? So that's the next step up on the risk curve because any of those companies can go to zero as well. And then obviously crypto is risky, so I would be it would be dumb to say otherwise. However, in terms of risk, uh, LP providing is about as quote unquote safe as it gets in terms of actually generating yield and still having exposure to crypto as a whole. So, the only other way, in my opinion, is to DCA or to get involved in other DeFi protocols. But then you have to have a layer of active management. You have to be very careful with your, making sure you're not connecting to scam websites and getting drained, or somehow getting fished on the wrong website. There's a bunch of other security risks then too. Not even saying on a protocol level, just on a personal level. So all that being said, bonds really are again, and it says it right on the website, the easy button, right? Because you can mint a bond and not even come back to the website for a week, a month, whatever, however much time you need, and you don't have to look at a chart. You don't have to be involved in all these private Telegram groups and know what the next hot thing is. You literally just set it and forget it, like you say, Ryan, the food had dehydrator, right, Bronco?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's again, in my mind, bonds are and being in the game now for over 10 years. This is a cultivation of everything that we wanted to see in a DeFi protocol all in one that is simple and again as hands off as it gets for especially in DeFi. So the overall risk I would say is obviously a hack. We've been through that already. I've said it many times, but even with our original hack, number one, we're making everyone whole. We're already making major headway on that. But more importantly, even with $200,000 of audits, none of the private vaults were even affected in the original hack, and all the bond vaults are private vaults. So that is another major, moat of protection against bonds. And really, the only other thing that would just, nuke the bond price and the yield is if crypto is no longer a thing. So, again, whether that's through World War III or, and honestly, those sort of, even if it was World War III, a lot of times capital, takes flight to assets like this that are not correlated with, fiat money. But even if it wasn't, the whole idea is that as long as there's volume in crypto, we are able to make money. And we've seen that, with crypto being at literally all-time lows in terms of interest and adoption and volume, we're still producing incredible APR. During a real bull run and volume going crazy, again, the APR numbers are so insane that you think they're fake, right? Because some of our vaults were doing literally 1% a day on real yield, which is just nuts. Again, no Ponzonomics, no nothing, and still being able to do 1%. So obviously we do a blended average, and during a bear market those numbers are down. But when you have a long term, and that's what I want to end with, kind of on this little rant, is what we say all the time, Ryan. Right? If you're looking to get in to bonds to do a quick flip or get rich quick, bonds might not be the best play for you, right? But if you want to get rich slow and have a long term, a mindset on all this, and really, honestly, all of our protocols are this way. That fundamentally, you will be able to build your position over the long run, especially if you're looking, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road. It doesn't even matter if the market, if we never have a bull run, at even at 40% APR, within 2 years you're free rolling your ROI, right? Every dollar after that is pure profit for you. So those are just some things to keep in mind when you look at all the factors. And none of us, Ryan, myself, as much as we would like to be, we're not fortune tellers, right? We can't predict the future. We can only build for what we know will be here. And with AI and the rate at which technology is advancing right now, I can only imagine that we 100x volume over the next 10 or 20 years in crypto, because robots and the traditional financial system is not built for AI. Crypto is, and so that is so powerful for the future for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you talked about that. The whole AI thing. I mean, it's booming, guys. It's You're not going to be able to pay. You're not going to be able to pay AI and robots with the dirty dollar or a credit card and like that. It's going to be this guy right here, the old Bitcoin, and that's what they're going to be taking, ETH, whatever. And I'm excited about that. Yeah, it's going to take away some jobs, but that's the future. We can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. That's the thing. But Bernard Bond's been printing since June 11th, 2025, and it's not stopping unless crypto goes to zero, ladies and gentlemen. And like AJ said, average of 60% since inception. That's 5% a month. I don't know where else you're getting that. If so, please leave me a comment, because I need to be in things like those ASAP. All right. And Doc's team, Doc's wallets. What else can you ask for? Okay. It's very, very simple what they provide here. And it's been amazing. I think that's about it for Bernard Bonds. Panic has a question here. I see a lot of sell pressure on Plasm, and you said most of it is from easy mode. Why? Let's see. Why not disable easy mode so people either hold or get in with new capital, because they eat all the progress of buy and burn?
Yeah, no doubt. So you want to jump into Plasm
Yeah.
now, Ryan? Okay, so yeah, and again, if anybody had any other questions for bonds, let us know. But so yeah, and this is also, I also saw another question a little earlier about Plasm that was basically asking about the E-share Plasm ratio being all-time low now, and if there's a plan for recovery. So both of these questions kind of tie in together. So number one, if you're asking about a plan for recovery, then you just simply don't understand Plasm well enough. And I don't say that to be a jerk. I mean, I'm happy to go over it on the AMA, and I will next. But um, again, all the information is here, and all the really, again, I use the word bulletproof economics are are something that we go over week in and week out. But to answer the question directly, the BBB, or the buy, burn, and build, and now BBG, buy, burn, build, and grow, because again, we did an update a few weeks ago where part of the yield is now going to buy more bonds just from the yield alone, and we call that the buy and grow. So all those things are the recovery plan, right? So we have $468,000 in the treasury right now. That is all bonds. These are our DeFi bonds, or DexFi bonds, but Bernard bonds, DexFi bonds, all in the same. And they are producing roughly, if you go to the stats page, Ryan, I believe it's about $580 a day, somewhere in there. Yeah, so
Yeah,
500.
545.
Yeah, so $545 a day. Now, that $545 a day, that is all real yield without ever depleting the treasury. And so, of that, over the last 178 days, we've been able to buy and burn $116,000 worth of Plasm. And so, again, like, no, what other protocol do you know where you can verify that $116,000 has bought back the token and burned it? I mean, I would say no other protocol, at least that I know of, has done that. So, and if it did, maybe Hyperliquid, or a top 10 crypto project that has real yield. So, but that being said, that is the recovery plan, right? So the buy and burn and the BBB, that will buy and push the price of Plasm up over the long run. Now, again, I think the issue is that people want this to happen tomorrow, right? And so they maybe overinvested, or they didn't realize how long it might take for themselves to be in profit, or and again, that's no criticism, but the reality is that you know you have to be patient for the buy and burn to do its job, right? And so that will inevitably push the price and the E-share plasm ratio back up into a better range, where number one, you're no matter when you entered up until now, you're now in profit, and number two, it becomes a lot more affordable to stake because of the contribution cost. So there is no problem with the protocol. All the fixes are already in place. The only thing we have to plan around is time. And so, with a long enough time horizon, again, it is mathematically inevitable that Plasm hits all-time highs over the long run. So, and again, you can talk to AI about it. You can look at some of our videos. CK, shout out to CK, one of our community members. He does an amazing job at AI videos that literally explain everything I just said um, in a very simple and easy to understand way. Almost every day he puts out a video. So please make sure you're following him. You can find the links in our Telegram and everywhere else. So that's kind of to answer the first question. The second part of that question was about easy mode, right? So McPanic says, um, why don't we just disable easy mode? And again, the short answer to that is um, that would be basically shooting ourselves in the foot. So uh, they are somewhat correct in that the selling pressure of Plasm right now is coming from easy mode. And so what easy mode is, it's a way for people to pay their contribution costs with Plasm by selling part of it to feed the fees. Now, again, on the surface, to people with the short term mindset and just want numbers to go up, they see that as a bad thing. If you actually understand the protocol and realize that even with easy mode, if you're selling your Plasm to pay for the contribution costs, you're actually minting more bonds, right? Because every dollar that goes into the protocol goes to creating more bonds. So what we're doing is we're sacrificing the price and the short term gains to be able to juice the treasury and now earn even more. I mean, again, every dollar that goes into the protocol right now could be, $2 or $3 in yield, a year from now. So those are all the reasons that easy mode is, no matter what, is still a benefit to the protocol, even if it is short-term selling pressure. It's not in the traditional sense that people are just using easy mode to sell and leave. If anything, it's the opposite, right? Because anybody can take their Plasm and sell and leave and never come back. And now that selling pressure, it hurts the protocol and only has no benefit at all. At least with easy mode, they're locked in, right? Because if they're selling through easy mode, that money goes to the treasury. And so it is a way that the protocol can sustain and benefit even with sellers, which again is unheard of in crypto. So hopefully that explains it. And if it still doesn't make sense to you, I would highly, highly recommend that you join our socials, Telegram, you follow CK and all his videos, and just have a chat with AI on why Plasm is so powerful and so different than other crypto projects.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was a good explanation. I mean, bottom line is there's 216 ETH in the vault, which is absolutely crazy. The balance of 468,000, and like 545 a day in yield is no joke, guys. I mean, this is real yield, not some fake number, not some 0.2345% a day Ponzi. This is real yield verified on chain that you cannot deny. Okay. Yes, APR is down a little bit. It's still 3.5% a month if you try to figure it out that way. Okay. 12,000, over 12,000 bonds working for us every single minute, which is insane. That's a lot for Plasm. Well, however, how many 170 days is that's what 6 months or however long it's been. It's been crazy. And obviously, guys, I show my bag every time. I mean, I don't care what you guys see. So we will show it right here. And maybe AJ wants to touch on what these numbers mean too, because a lot of people are concerned about, the amount of Plasm, but really a lot of it is ownership. I know it's accumulate Plasm, but some of it's ownership. Maybe you want to touch on that, AJ.
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. So we went over this on the last week's AMA, but I think it's important we highlight it again. And yeah, the crazy part is your ownership is only going up, Ryan, and you haven't done any additional stakes. So that
Yeah.
is so bullish. I mean, again, can the devs do something, right? Everybody wants to complain, but when it's actually beneficial, we don't hear anybody talking about it. But anyway, I digress. But the numbers don't lie, right? I mean, that's what matters. You don't have to take my word for it. We just got to look at the numbers. So, as you can see, as people leave the ecosystem, or as their stakes or creations come to maturity, if they cannot re-enter the protocol, and if they're only using easy mode to re-enter the protocol, they're earning a lot less in terms of ownership or what we call shares. So shares are what determine the emissions or the amount of rewards that you get from Plasm. And again, the other misconception is that these emissions are inflationary. They're not. So there is a fixed supply of Plasm, at 125 million tokens, and in reality, there probably will be even less than that ever available. So we've done the math based on the run rate of the buy and burn and everything else, and even conservatively, a true 1% ownership of the protocol is about 600,000 tokens. And so, you know, uh, obviously, if you're able to bring fresh capital to pay for the creation or staking costs, you're gonna get a much better share rate. And so, and Ryan is a great example of that. So, Ryan went in super heavy. Obviously, overall, I think he's in for over 20K, but just looking at the cost to value ratio on the most recent stake, 18K, that didn't go. That was what he paid, but it didn't go to, again, me or the devs or his own pocket. It went to the treasury. And so, again, that's about $30 a day that now earns for the buy and burn, even at these lower numbers. So that is super bullish, and the ROI will continue to go up. So we're still seeing at about minus 70% ROI, but Ryan is earning more and more Plasm every single day. So now, not only is he going to get his 128,000 Plasm back at the end of 77 days, but he's already earned almost 100,000 Plasm, which you can see on the left right there. So, between both of those, he's already at about 226,000 Plasm coming back to him at the end of his stake. And that number will only go up. I mean, the estimate that we saw, and we'll see how close it is, was about 600K. So I think that he will get there, and he's earning more and more Plasm from the rewards as well, because his ownership percentage is going up. So it's not like a linear. You get X amount of Plasm every day. So all of those things point to that. Even if Ryan spends 30 grand, he will have spent less to own more Plasm than if he would have just spent 30 grand on the open market and bought Plasm, on the exchange. So that's really what you have to outweigh, and that's again part of the easy mode, math is, am I better off to go and just hold my Plasm? Am I better off to go buy Plasm with new capital, or am I better off to pay the staking fee and then earn Plasm? And you know, it varies in real time, but as of right now, I still think you're gonna earn more Plasm going into staking than any other way. So and that's what Ryan's doing. I mean, we've seen it. You put your money where your mouth is, Ryan. We'll see if you're a big winner or a big or a goblin, as they say, by the end of the year, right? So
Right, exactly. And maybe we should touch on that too, because I've heard in the comments, some of the comments, this is a whale's game. What do you say to that, AG? I don't consider myself a whale. A lot of people, there's people who have way more money than me into this thing. They just haven't, restaked. Some are holding, some are doing this and that. But is it a whale's game only? I mean, what do you say to those people when they say that?
Yeah, no doubt. So the ROI and the amount that you earn and the percentages, all of those are in fact percentages, right? So meaning, dollar for dollar, yes, a whale will earn more, but that's because they have more in the system, right? But if you have a lower bankroll or you want to get involved, you are earning the exact same percentage ROI as anybody else. And furthermore, even if you have a lower bankroll, you're still able to earn more than even a whale would earn by bringing fresh capital in and paying for your staking costs, as opposed to selling your position to pay for the fees. So there's many ways that even minnows can outperform the whales, on a percentage basis, keeping all those things in mind. So yeah, and rightly so. I mean, I've always been a bit baffled at the whales game argument, because you know, and maybe that's because I'm more of a capitalist at heart, right? But if you put a lot more into a protocol, you should be able to earn at least the same as anybody else, right? You shouldn't be punished for being a whale, right? You just shouldn't have an advantage for being a whale, and I think Plasm does an amazing job at balancing that. And again, if you the other solution is to literally just go and buy off the market as well. And this is a perfect segue, Ryan. I know what you're going to show here, but whales are also a bit of insurance in the system too, right? Because most of the time, whales don't want to dump on our heads because they have the most to lose. And so, if you have what we call benevolent whales, or at least people in the ecosystem that know how to be responsible and not sell their entire bag in one red candle, then it gives you confidence that there's whales. And so, yeah, Ryan, I don't know if you want to go into that. I know, personally speaking, we know at least what the top uh, 10 accounts for the
Yeah,
most
I mean,
part. Yeah.
this is me, but I moved into first place because the other guy, he had 480,000 plasm that just released in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
And and he's holding, and he's going to be going in with some fresh. He's waiting for some funds. He's going to be going into some fresh ETH. He's going to be buying some off the market, straight off the market, because prices are low, guys. He's doing a couple different scenarios, so there will be some more money coming to the treasury to buy new bonds and things like that. I know this guy very well, and I know this guy very well. These other ones I do know not as good, but these guys aren't selling. Okay, the bottom line is these guys aren't Jeets. They're not going to sell on the market. Just like when my stake, I told you guys I'm not selling one token until next November when my fifth cycle is over. And it's not like I'm going to dump on your heads. I'm going to responsibly sell a couple hundred tokens, or maybe $100 a day, or whatever it's going to be. I don't know what the price is going to be. Hopefully it's 10 cents. I'll be so happy if it's 10 cents. But I mean, with that said, none of these people are selling. The top whales, I would say probably the top 20 aren't going to be selling. They're going to be either holding, or they're going to be going in with fresh ETH. They're not going to be using easy mode because obviously, they don't want to lose, half of their plasm to the, for the fee or anything. But, it's things like that. Did we lose AJ here? Let me see. I need to go back, and where is it? Yeah, AJ, where are you at? There you are. There he is.
Hey, there we go. Sorry about that, Ryan. Yeah, for
no
whatever
worries.
reason, StreamYard every few weeks, I get I get knocked out. But yeah, I want to just touch on what you said about responsible selling. So that is really really a key amazing part of Plasm. So again, even so. I love the devil's advocate, right? Because people are going to say, well, whales, Ryan, you have to make money somehow, right? So nobody is truly benevolent. And I would agree with that 100%. Obviously, Ryan and all the big holders want to make money eventually, right? And so, to Ryan's point on what he said, and again, I don't want to put words in Ryan's mouth, but I think we can kind of come to, a good understanding of how does somebody exit Plasm without hurting everybody else. And Plasm is one of the only ways that this is achievable. And the way it is the buy and burn, right? Because we see that buy and burn. And again, a year from now, when Ryan has a million Plasm, or whatever the final number might be, or maybe more than that, um, you're able to sell, like Ryan just said, $100 a day, $200 a day, whatever that number is. You could sell that literally every single day for the rest of the time that you have tokens to sell. And because of the buy and burn, the chart could still go up. I mean, just wrap your head around that, right? Because, if the buy and burn is doing $1,000 or more a day, and by then, who knows? It could be two, three, $4,000 a day. I've said this before, but one of our predecessors, Titan X, that has about I think it's come down a lot now, but let's just say $10 million in the treasury. I think it's more than that even now, but let's just say 10 million. That would be like what at a 40% APR. And what we have about four. So oh my god, it'd be like just doing rough math in my head. One we'd be at like 5 grand a day or more, a little more even 6 grand a day in buy and burn. So again, it scales up as well, and that's with the APR being this low. If we get the APR up high again, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars a month buying and burning Plasm, and so that allows people like Ryan and everybody else to exit the protocol and still have the price go up. And so when you really think about it that way, you understand how powerful Plasm is for the future, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm only gonna take some profit if it's a good. I'll wait for the price to go up. It's not like I need the money to live it or anything like that. So I'll wait for 25-cent Plasm or like Cool Sheet. He's waiting for $1. So he's bullish.
$1, right? Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, and
so,
that, and
yeah.
Yeah, well, there's one more thing I was gonna say what you just said, Ryan, and I think it's worth saying it because it helps with the emotions, right? And what Ryan said is he's not basically paying his rent money with the yield, right? And so if you are that guy or girl, then that usually means that you maybe have too much in the protocol. So I would say again, just remember that moving forward that you get a lot less stressed out and panicky when you should never be putting your rent money into protocols like this, even no matter how incredible they are, bonds, plasm, anything, and that will allow you to help sleep at night for sure. So I think it's worth saying as a public service announcement. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Just a reminder, guys, I'm giving away a t-shirt at the end here. So, but I'm not going to give it away with 25 people watching and I have 8 likes. Okay. So the currency of YouTubers is likes and comments. So please hit the like button. It's free for you. Okay. So with that said, are we pretty much wrapped up on Plasm? We can move over to FortuneFi, AJ, or do we need to touch anything else?
Yeah, no, I think that was all the questions I saw. Hopefully that answered McPanic and Henry, I think was the other one. So and yeah, if there is more questions, then just let us know. But yeah, we got a lot of bullish updates for FortuneFi, right? We got the whale pot this week. So yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Guys. Yeah, it's gonna be let's see, we go over to live draw. It's probably going to be 500 and yeah, it'll be $530 by Friday night for sure. So one wallet's going to get that, guys. $530. Chainlink BRF 2.5 is going to pick that wallet, and it's going to be amazing. Plus, you guys pay attention to this leaderboard, okay? Very important. Another addition we got to the leaderboard, guys. We put the total users next to this one on the top spenders, okay? So we got 46 wallets in this week, okay? And if you go previous weeks, it's been very consistent, 68, 69, 68, 80. That was where it was, the $500. That's where the whale pot got, some people wait till the last minute for some reason. I have no idea why, because the sooner you go in, you have a chance at a free ticket every single night. And plus buys a Bernard bond earlier to make us more money into the jackpots, guys. So I don't know why you wait, but do whatever you do. But me and AJ are blacklisted off this because the last 2 weeks we were the top spenders, okay? Because we buy so many tickets to give away and test, okay? So we got our wallets blacklisted. So you guys can have at it. Whoever's in these top 3, they are not our wallets. And we cannot change the whale club, though, guys, okay? So very important. The whale club is, we cannot take our, what would you call it, our wallet addresses off there without changing the contract. So if one of us win this, okay, if one of us win this, we are just going to give the $500 away, okay, to whatever, we'll do a draw or we'll do something with it. I don't know. Maybe we'll juice the pot some more or whatever with the $500. But so really, you have a 1 in 8 chance almost of if we give it away to these other wallets, you have a 1 in 8 chance of winning that $500, which is way better than trying to 5x on them, because that's pretty much what it is, guys. 5xing on a mem coin, 5xing on some stupid, crap token, things like that. It's way simpler to, spend $100 a month on this. I buy 13 tickets a week to be in this whale club because it's $100 a month you have to spend, okay? The drawing is held on the last Friday of every month, which is this Friday, the 27th. And that's the only day it's drawn on. It's once a month. And this is given away. It's $500. It'll be $530. And it's going to be given away to one lucky wallet, which Chainlink VR 2.5 picks. And it's going to be amazing. The guy who won it last month won the whale pot plus 2 times in the weekly side pot. He took home like $530. Like, it was insane. So good for him. But so yeah, just realize if me or AJ if our wallet addresses get pulled, we're gonna do something else with that money. So just a heads up. All right. So there's 10 people in right now. Another thing you need to keep track of. Look at the top spenders here. Okay. Like this guy right here, these two here are 16 tickets. They're tied for second and third. If one of those guys buys 1 ticket, he's going to up this guy and he's going to get 2 more tickets for free. So there is a little bit of gamification here. If these at 15 buy 3 tickets, they're going to be bumped up from getting like 3 tickets to 7 tickets. So be paying attention to this list. And if you are really close, you're going to make more free tickets than you would have to purchase. Okay, guys? So just keep an eye on that. There is some gamification. Biggest winners, you can go this month, all time, guys. All the stats are here. Hats off once again to Scott, Build the Tech, BTT and company did an amazing job. They're always doing little updates for us, and they've just been magnificent to work for. The top refers. This doesn't mean much, guys. That's me at the top. I give all my tickets away. Okay. So I don't care where I'm at there. And then there's the whale club. And the main thing, ladies and gentlemen, is the protocol. 395 Bernard bonds working for us every single day, juicing these pots. Okay. Making about $17 a day. And here's where the money goes. 50% goes to the main. Okay. 35% to the weekly. The developer gets 10% into the fund. And the whale pot gets 5%. So with that said, that's where all the rewards go to that the Bernard bonds make, because 100% of the ETH or USDC that's used to purchase the tickets goes into buying the Bernard bonds, guys. Okay. So, and then the yield pays out the rest of the things. All right. So that's very important. There's zero Ponzi-nomics. We can afford to pay out referrals, guys. All right. I have 38 referrals. I've taken in $214. I've given away, I looked it up, over $700 worth of tickets. So this is actually costing me to play. But you know what? It's fun. I'm a gambler. Okay. I admit it. Got a gambling problem. I would love to play the game. If you're a multi-level marketer or shiller or whatever, you can share your link with your friends and make some residual income that way. Just think, guys, when this thing hits 100,000, 500,000, $1 million, it's not going to take long. Okay. Rome wasn't built in a day. This thing's going to take off. And you could about imagine when people are buying 100 tickets a week or 50 tickets a week, you could be making 20 cents on each single ticket, because that's buying a bond. And when these bonds start multiplying and growing, guys, and AJ is he explains this better than I do. But when these bonds start, compounding. That's when the magic happens. These jackpots get huge. You want to touch on that, AJ?
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. So again, man, the fact that we're putting literally 50% of all the yield back into the jackpot is huge, because now not only does it grow the jackpot, but that's buying more bonds to then, the flywheel then uses that additional yield to buy 50% more of the profit. So again, it's an exponential curve, right? And even with 10K right now in the as the main jackpot, that is generating real yield every day to feed all the other pots and grow the main pot. And to your point, Ryan, I mean, I think it could happen a lot quicker than people even realize. Like we get to 10, obviously we're at 10 now, we get to 20, 30, 40 grand. Now we're literally generating hundreds of dollars a day in feeding the system, for lack of a better word, and it could get crazy. And then, I mean, just imagine, when we do get to, six figures, like you had said, or even seven figures. And we all know how that FOMO happens, right? I mean, I won't say it to be flagged here on YouTube, but you all know the big one that everybody plays at the local gas station. When the jackpot is a billion, literally $1 billion. It's all over the place. You're getting literally hundreds of millions of dollars going into the into that prize, a day at that point. And again, obviously there are some good things that happen, schools and roads and infrastructure, but we don't know where some of that money goes, right? Who knows where it goes, and we hope that they're putting it into the things they say they are, but it's impossible to audit that. Well, again, the other amazing part of FortuneFi is all of it is on chain and verifiable. And Ryan, you can show them on the jackpot page at the very top, that little debank button, man. That's our best friend. So you can see it all on chain, every single penny, all the payouts. If the main jackpot is hit, we do have to liquidate bonds. So that is the only additional step. But all the side pots, all the yield, all the dailies, all that is paid automatically with no human interaction. Shows up right in your wallet, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. And what the jackpot already withholds the rollover. So if the jackpot does get hit, there's money set aside to have a jackpot for next week. So that's part of the other mechanism. But yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Right. Yeah, for sure, guys. So 30% would go, 70% in the jackpot. That's what that 70% of that's what the jackpot is right now. So we'd start off with about, like $4,000 or whatever in the next jackpot. If someone hit it this Friday, I hope they do. My God, that'd be awesome. But as you can see, guys, there's 32 bucks in the wallet. Okay. A Bernard bond right now costs $38.40. So with that said, when someone buys like 2 more tickets, 3 or 4 more tickets, when this thing hits $39.40, it instantly goes and buys a Bernard bond. And that looks like this. If you go into transactions, it looks like that. There, yesterday, we had another deposit and a bond was bought for $38.34. Everything is here for you to see. Every single person who buys a ticket is right here. You cannot hide where the money's at, guys. That is what we pride ourselves on, okay? There's nobody that is this transparent. That's the truth, and nobody can FUD that because you cannot hide money from DBank, and it's just been amazing. Remember, guys, it's ETH or USDC on Base Network to buy. You choose right here, pick your poison, however many tickets you want to buy. You can pick your own numbers, or you can just, quick pick or whatever. You can also gift tickets, copy and paste their address in here, buy a ticket for them. Boom, they're instantly in. Lots of options here, guys. The streaks are so important, and I say this in every video, and I want to say this on this video too, because nobody watches my FortuneFi videos because they're getting suppressed by YouTube. I get like 45 views. I spend 2-3 hours making a video and I get 45 views. I don't even know why I do them, but you know what? One day, guys, it's going to work. So weekly streets, guys, I've been in every week. So 8 straight weeks now. When the smart contract sees that your wallet address has been in for 52 weeks in a row, every week after that, you buy a ticket. You only need to buy one. You get a BOGO. Buy one, get one. So 40, what is that? 44 weeks from now, because I've been in every week, that'd be 52. 44 weeks from now, when I buy my 13 tickets every week, I'm going to get 26 tickets. And I'm doubling my chances from the tickets I buy, because I'm going to get 26 and I'm only paying for 13. Doubling my chances to win every single pot. So you only have to buy one ticket a week, guys. It's $2. You cannot go to the gas station for $2. You can't even get your coffee in the morning. Plus, you have to go somewhere. You can do this right from your living room, right from your easy chair. It's the most simple thing to do, and it's taking off. And it will take off when. And I'm glad you said that when it was the $1 billion, the lottery that they have, AJ. I get a kick out of the people who wait till it's like $1.2 billion because why play if it's only 900 million? Like, what are you going to do with that?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, well, what a great problem to have.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So if you guys don't think $10,000 is a lot of money, I think that's a lot of money. So, and I'm willing to spend a couple bucks to play the game. All right, if you don't like to, the refer, everything's in the use someone else's referral link. I could care less. I give it all away anyway, so it does not matter to me. Yeah. With that said, guys, that's about it for FortuneFi. But the whale pot, remember, it will say right on your dashboard. If you go under live draw, right on your dashboard, your wallet's hooked up. It'll say you qualify, or you have to spend this much more. Okay, it's $100 a month, so you can do that week by week, like I do. 13 tickets a week. $26 a week, because I want to be in. I want a chance at every single free ticket every night, and I want a chance at the weekly side pot. Okay, as many tickets, so or as many chances for my wallet to get pulled in the chain link, VRF 2.5. So it'll tell you if you qualify, you can buy 13 a week, you can buy 26 every 2 weeks, you can buy all 50 at once right before it starts or right before the timer goes. You'll still be in the whale pot. And it looks to me like we're waiting for about 25 wallets to get in for the week. They're waiting for the last minute. I don't know why they are, but whatever. I mean, that's their prior. We've had 68 wallets for the last 4 weeks in a row, 68, 69. Just prepare when this thing starts taking off, guys, like AJ said, and we're compounding multiple bonds per day, and the flywheel starts turning. It's going to be absolutely insane, and it's going to be huge. Is there anything else we need to touch on FortuneFi, AJ?
Yeah, no, I think that was everything, Ryan. I know we did do some housekeeping this week. There was a little bit of a bug if you were using an obscure wallet on being able to not spend your free tickets. So again, that's another thing now. If you win some free tickets, you can let those stack up and redeem them all for 1 week, or do it right away. So there's a lot of flexibility for anybody, no matter how you want to do it. And yeah, again, it's been amazing. Again, shout out to Build the Tech. The VRF pulls, everything, all the payouts have been flawless from literally minute one. So it's one of the most exciting protocols under our repertoire for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, a couple of questions we should get to right away. Let's see. Kendall says, is there a way to make it possible to borrow against our bond value, like to about 90%, then get liquidated if we don't pay it back in time?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, Kendall. Again, there's been a lot of discussion about lending and borrowing, even in the original protocol, EMP, DexFi, GDEX, bonds. I mean, again, ultimately, the short answer is yes, it's possible, but there is so much more added risk, and development time and just nuance that goes into that. So the short answer right now is that is not on the roadmap. And we're still really new. And the TVL is still pretty low. for us to implement that. Again, if we had $5 million in of a holding the price of bonds a little better, and regardless of what the markets do, then we can maybe have that conversation. But again, and just to give you an example of what I'm saying, if there is a black swan event, then and you're borrowing against your bonds, then you could get liquidated, and now your bond position is zero, and that would not be good for anybody. So there's just a lot of different things that go into that. So the short answer is no, but that is something that we could technically do in the long run. And I think there is definitely ways that we can make it a little more quote unquote safe. You wouldn't be able to borrow anywhere near 90%, maybe 50% at most. And that would definitely help with some of the potential risk. But and there is some other, again, not to give too much alpha, but there are some other teams that we know that are trusted in the space, that are building some cool lending esque solutions. So who knows? Maybe that might be a way that we can do it as a third party offering as well. But yeah, for right now, that isn't part of the plan.
Okay. Ryan Garish says, is there an argument that buying 50 tickets in 1 week to get a higher chance of the weekly pots that week? Yeah. So if you buy 50 tickets, your wallet is entered 50 times into that chain link thing, correct, AJ?
Yeah, no doubt. So Ryan, yeah, this is again where some of the game theory comes in. So yeah, the weekly pot, that is based on purchases that week. So yeah, if you went real heavy 1 week as opposed to the others, then yeah, you would have a lot more chances. Obviously, chances don't equate to guarantees, right? But yeah, if you went a little heavier, and like Ryan says, maybe you see, oh man, there's not really a lot of participation this week. I'm gonna go heavy, and now my odds of winning are even better. And again, we don't. If you win, you're not excluded from the pool, meaning you can win multiple times. So we've had many weeklies that win two times, so or
Yeah.
three or whatever it might be. So yeah, that's definitely I like where your head's at, Ryan. I mean, that's another way to min max the odds for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a little bit of gamification to it, guys. I love that part of it because, like I said, keep an eye on that top spender board because some of you guys are, right here, one ticket away from getting a bunch more free tickets by spending $2. So just keep that in mind. Not financial advice, but if it was me, I would be looking at that because it's common sense to me, right? And I keep track of that. I want my odds to be the best they can. So we should give away a T-shirt real quick, AJ. Let me see. I am going to now. Muttley, you cannot win a T-shirt, and I don't see Marvin Witt in here either. Muttley, you're not in this one because you already won a shirt, and it cost me $29 to ship that to you. So I'm not happy about that. But whatever. You're gonna get your shirt. It's on its way. But yeah, that was I think that's the furthest I've ever shipped a shirt. So with that said, Muttley and Marvin Witt, they cannot win a T-shirt, but I'm going to think of a number between 1 and 100. You have one guess only, so please guess right now. We'll give it a couple minutes. I already have my number, so go ahead and guess, and we'll reveal it when we get in a couple minutes here. So with that said, AJ, this is the whale pot. The whale pot is this Friday, so it's Chainlink that draws the whale pot. Obviously, it has nothing to do with the tickets. This thing will start counting down, guys. We need to go to the live draw page. It's very cool when the timer hits 0. You can watch these numbers spin and bang, bang, and it instantly pays people out, guys. Instantly. Like, and we can go see that right on this page. If we go right there, when that thing hit, it brings you right to base scan. So the whale or the weekly pot was like 150 bucks. All these 10 wallets got paid $15.01. Just like that, instantly to their wallet in USDC. So it's working and it's trackable on the blockchain. I love that part. And there's no fudding it, because you can't FUD something that just plain works, right? I mean, there's no question about it, that it's 100% transparent, and that's the way it should be. That's the way a protocol should be, and we like that, and so should you guys. So with that said, anything else, AJ, that we need to talk about on FortuneFi, or Plasm, or Bernard Bonds?
Yeah, no, I think we did a great job. I know we went a little long tonight, but I think we covered all the major points. And yeah, just to clarify too, about the whale pot, like Ryan was asking about the weekly. The whale pot is only given to those that qualify for the $100 for that month. So even if you spent 200, you don't get a double entry. So the only way you would be able to, I guess, do that is like if you did it with a different wallet. So there might be, again, a way to get a little more entries that way. But remember, all that money goes to bonds. So you should be excited for the more people to buy tickets every single day, every week, every month, because that means the future jackpots and whale pot and side pot are more and more and more. I mean, just imagine, Brian, when the whale pot or the side pot is a couple of grand. I mean, again, the odds of winning that are going to be awesome, and it really gets exciting then, regardless of the main jackpot. The other pots are going to be really exciting too. So yeah, man, again, the future is going to be real interesting with this. And you sprinkle in a bull run. I mean, even if we have 10 grand, if ETH doubles, now all of a sudden the yields and the jackpots double as well. So all that is bullish for sure.
Exactly. Okay, I guess not too many people want to win a t-shirt, but I mean, I get it, guys. Some people don't, because you do have to send me your address. Not that I care where you live. I'm not coming to visit, but I mean, whatever. So my number was 76, and there's the number right there on the screen, 76. So Ryan Garish, I'm glad he won. You know why, guys? Because he is in the AMAs. He watches all my videos, and he comments and likes every single one. It is the currency of YouTubers, and I appreciate him. I'm glad he won. I'm going to send him this shirt. So Ryan, DM me your address and what size shirt you want. I will send it off tomorrow, and you'll have it maybe by the weekend, depending on where you live, unless you live in Norway or something, or God knows where. But yeah, that's just the chance I take for telling us I'm going to ship people's stuff. So Ryan Garish, you win. You're only one off from the number 76 I picked, because that's the year I was born. And I think that's it. AJ, anything else to add?
No, that's it. Congrats, Ryan. Again, we love it when one of the ones that is actually engaging is a prize winner. So yeah, and make sure. Oh, one last pitch. Join the Telegram for FortuneFi. We don't have hardly anybody in there, and Ryan and I give away a ton of tickets. So definitely join the Telegram. All of our Telegrams, but specifically FortuneFi for sure. So
yeah,
right, thanks,
I gave away 30 tickets in 20 minutes last Friday night. Okay, guys, I don't know who else is doing that. Okay, I gave away 30 tickets, and a couple of people I gave tickets won something. I think one won a weekly side pot, whatever. Good for them. Okay, I give all my referrals away, plus I spend more, guys. I want to see people win. This is what the space is about. We like to have some fun. And I mean, that's it. Ryan Garish gets a shirt tonight. I was going to give away some FortuneFi tickets, but we're running late, guys. Stop in the please join the Telegram group. Link is in the description. You're going to win tickets. Maybe I'll give some away tonight if I get bored, but I'm going to give a load away on Friday night again. Okay, so I don't know why there isn't 1,000 people in that group. I give away free tickets. Okay, and so does AJ. So with that said, guys, we went over everything again. Sorry we went a little long, but you know what? We like to give stuff away. We like to talk about it. We like to explain things in front of you, ask the questions live so we can answer them, because it's easier doing camera and then in Telegram group typing all day, okay? This is what we're here for. Nowhere else will you find the co-founders of protocols in front of you every single week answering questions, not hiding behind a screen, not hiding behind a keyboard, not showing up to fake summits with bodyguards, not wearing spiked masks and garbage, okay? Or secret Telegram groups saying you guys are a bunch of goblins. My God, guys, pay attention. This is what crypto, this is what DeFi is all about. 100% transparency. We're trying to bring the space back, you know, at least to its knees, because right now it's kind of sucking. But you know what? Like I always say, Rome wasn't built in a day. I think we will, a year from now, we're going to feel like kings, and it's going to be great. So with that said, thank you guys for joining. Thank you, AJ, for taking the time out of your busy schedule for joining me. Thank you for watching, guys, asking questions. Congratulations, Ryan Garish, on the t-shirt. DM me all your info. You will have it in the mail. I promise. With that said, guys, this is us talking to you every Tuesday night. Please join us again next week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll answer more questions. Try come FUD us. Try come do whatever. We'll debunk it. And we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. All right, guys. With that said, I hope everybody has a great rest of their Tuesday evening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.